Where's the... Here it is.
Here we go.
Ha 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 ha.
Chico, thanks for 37 months. Welcome back, man. Am I that vocal in solo queue commentary? I mean, you can't really be that vocal in solo queue, especially if you're like grinding out a lot of solo queue games. Like, I don't know. I don't know. It's like hard to mentally be like that focused for, especially in solo queue, where like communicating or getting people to listen and shit. It doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? Like I could call those calls, but like people would respond to them late or like, you know what I mean? So I don't know. Like I've never been like an exceptionally strong solo queue player. Like I can get challenger and shit, but like I'm much stronger in like in a competitive environment because I can like actually like communicate like what to do and like get everybody on the same page, if that makes sense. I'm sort of like Smithy in that sense. Like that's the type of player I am. So, all right, we'll do the VOD review here. Let's see what we got going on here. Let's see this first game. All right. Okay, so we got the Nidalee Swain. So this first game was interesting because Africa were like they had a lot of open ban cards because they're on blue side, so they ended up banning Nidalee, Olaf, and Swain. I think that's like fine. Like if you have blue side bans, you can like ban whatever. I think that's like completely acceptable. And like they didn't really know what King's Zone was going to prioritize in this draft. It's like they haven't seen them for 3 weeks either. And the other side bans Trundle and Karma and Rakan. So like this is an NA draft. What would probably end up happening is somebody would just pick Skarner here, and then they would trade for Caitlyn or some shit. But like I think that it's like interesting the meta that developed in LCK, even though this is like on a different patch. So like this is 8.6, and I think NALCS playoffs was played on 8.5. So Kai'Sa, that or like Kai'Sa just wasn't enabled, but Kai'Sa is enabled for this patch, which is kind of like an interesting thing. So they end up picking Tahm Kench. Like their logic here is that they're gonna take Tahm Kench because Tahm Kench counters Skarner, which is like completely acceptable. I think that's fine. But then they just go Skarner and Kai'Sa. I think that this like part of the draft is fine going for Skarner here. Like even into Tahm Kench, I think it's like okay, but I don't know. This is like actually a really smart draft by Africa, because the thing is like they pick Tahm, then it's like they're forced into picking Skarner, because like what other junglers are you gonna pick at this point in the game? You can go like Sejuani or something if you want. Maybe banning the Trundle was like... Yeah, I feel like banning the Trundle was actually a mistake here, because what ended up happening... Yeah, I think this ban card from King's Zone was a big mistake, because what ends up happening is they have last ban, so if they didn't ban Trundle, then they would get Tahm, and then they would get Trundle, and they would get Skarner. Which, I think Trundle's a good matchup into Skarner, so I think this Trundle ban was actually a mistake from King's Zone. I actually need to turn down the music on this. I don't know if I want to play Clash tomorrow. We'll see. Alright. And then they pick Varus. So they have Tahm Varus, which is a very strong lane. I thought this was super good that they picked up the Sion pick on this part of the draft. I think Sion became like super important throughout the series. And it's kind of weird that they picked Azir into Sion too. I think Azir is like okay. Oh wait, that's right. They didn't pick Azir. They picked Zoe this draft. And then they picked Alistar. I thought this was a big mistake, so I think this should have been a Braum instead of an Alistar. Like, I guess Braum and Kai'Sa is like not that strong of a lane. Or this could have been a Morgana too. Although Tahm into Morg is like okay too. I think Tahm is just like a really strong pick. To be honest, I think this Trundle ban should have been a Tahm ban in this draft. I think Africa messed up by doing that, because the Tahm just kind of like fucked up the whole first 3 on the draft for them. And then they end up banning Zac and Sejuani, so this guy ends up having to play Gragas, which I think Gragas is like not a very good pick, but it ended up working out for them. So, and then they pick Gnar because they thought they're against Sion, which he is against Sion. And then they pick Azir. And they pick Zoe.
Ha 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 ha.
Soccer dating some 2 months in a welcome back,
ha
friend.
ha ha.
So, I think this draft is kind of hard for Kingzone because there's not really that many targets for them to actually go on with Zoe because he can eat anybody out of this. The Tom is like the big thing that makes this draft hard because they have 2 Mega Tanks and they have Tom on top of that. So there's just 3 targets that Zoe can't go through. And they have Sion on top, which is actually pretty good against Gnar in the early game. So I think that overall Africa won this part of the draft out like pretty hard. Just because of the Tom pick. So this Trundle ban should have been a Tom ban in my opinion. So... And then, so pretty much like the story of this game, where did Gragas start? So Gragas started on red side, which is okay. So both junglers got the pull on bottom. I'm just going to do this on 2 times speed. Well, I mean, BD did shit on Kuro in lane. Everybody like made fun of the Zoe pick and said it was bad, but it actually wasn't bad. Like he had pressure in lane and he was up CS, and we're gonna look at that. So like pretty much both junglers did a 3 camp, so it's like very uncommon. So Gragas did 3 camp, and Skarner did a 4 camp opener. So Skarner is like actually naturally ahead at this point. That's just the strength of Skarner. But he actually got the Scuttle, so top is completely safe. So then now Skarner has to go bottom and like play the bot side here. So you can look at like, it's 3 minutes and 16 seconds into the game. Look at how much faster Skarner clears than Gragas. He's cleared his entire jungle, and he got the Scuttle, and he could even contest these Raptors even if he wanted to. So like, this is just the strength of Skarner. He's just so much faster at clearing. And then he's gonna like fish for this. It was looking like he wanted to make that play, so guess not. And then he gets Predator Boots, and he goes immediately top. I thought this was a smart play by him. He goes and does doubles. It looks like he dropped some of the camp. Yeah, so he has Predator here. I don't even think Sion had to flash in this game, because he missed the house right there. So, and then he's going to stun. I don't even think he needed a flash there. He would have gotten W'd in chunk, but I don't think he would have died. I don't even think he should have flashed there. And then he just goes back to farming. What is Gragas doing during this time? So you can see, like, Skarner's actually gotten off 1 full gank and cleared pretty much his entire bot side in the time it took Gragas to, like, just get out of the map on that. Like, Gragas is just so much of a weaker jungler than Skarner in this situation. And then, pretty much, like, the game was kind of slow until people hit level 6. And then, yeah, this is like a pretty slow game for the early game. I don't think anything really happens for like 9 or 10 minutes in this game. People are just like laning. Yeah, Skarner's just farming. I'm trying to like think of any plays that Skarner could have made, and it's kind of like really hard because both bot lanes are just 2 fat tanks that are hard to kill. I don't think Skarner can do anything this game until he hits 6. Lee finally hits 6. So this is what I'm talking about. This is when Zoe started getting priority in mid lane. And so like everybody like hated on the Zoe pick here, but I think that they could have done a lot of stuff with the Zoe pick, and they just didn't do anything with the Zoe pick. So like look right here. Look at their mid laner. If this Q hit, okay, he like did a bad Q, but like look at Azir's health on mid, and like look at the pressure they have. Like this is what I'm wondering is why they didn't. I think Zoe and Skarner should have gone in and aggressively taken all this vision on bot side, and they should have either forced Dragon, or they should have threatened bot dive to get everybody like pressured. But instead, like he just goes and farms his jungle here. I thought this was like really weird by Peanut. So he ends up clearing out the vision like way later. But you can see like the difference between this timing window. So if you look at this timing window to clear out the vision, Tahm Kench is level 5, right? This is the timing window when Kingzone should have moved in and been aggressive, but they pussied out really hard. And then you go see he does Gromp, and then he comes back and clears the vision. So this is like, to me, this was like just bad timing by BDD and Peanut. Like Kingzone could have done a lot more with their play here, but their timing was all off. Just really dumb. So you can see like now they want to contest these Raptors in the vision, but now their bot lane's level 6, so you can't do this. So imagine if they were doing this right before this when the bot lane can't come up in this situation, and when Zoe had like even more priority and even more pressure. This is like actually the play that ends up losing the game. So just this one window being missed actually is like the key difference in between them winning the game or losing the game. And it's all because Peanut missed his timing window on that. Like, they missed the timing window to get Dragon, they missed the timing window to get the Raptors, they missed the timing window to, like, actually fight here, too. And you can just see how bad he gets fucked on because of this. He's just dead. So, that was a big mistake by Peanut there. Like, Peanut pretty much, like, lost the game just off that one play. Well, not just Peanut, but also Gnar, which is the lane they picked to gain an advantage over the Scion. He gets solo killed here, too, which is just really stupid. So, like, now your jungler's down, and now you can't play off top side. So, literally, at this point, your only options are to go mid and bottom. And you have a top laner that has no priority, and Scion can TP in an ultimate. And then also you're diving a Varus Tahm Kench lane, which is a ton of CC and a ton of tankiness. So, because that whole situation right there just lost the game. Like, you can see the gold is only 500 up, but when this happens, it's in a pro game, you actually just lose the game instantly. So it's pretty troll. So then Skarner's playing topside here. I don't even think that... I really don't like his pathing here either. Like, Peanut, when he came out of pathing here, he should have done Raptors, Wolves, and then went back to control the River Vision again. Because then what will happen is Gragas will go top and clear top to bottom. So you'll be Raptor Wolf and be in River. He'll be just now starting his Gromp. Then you have a timing window where you can either do Dragon or you can like pressure for the bot diver, try to get a TP out or something and be like more proactive with your play. Because Gragas has no ultimate right now either. So this is another timing window where Peanut could afford something and he actually like didn't do anything with it. And it's just, I thought that Peanut played this particularly game extremely badly with his pathing. And it's like, look at the timing on Gragas. So right now, Peanut would have been done with Raptors. And then he would have been like on Wolves. And look at this, Gragas wouldn't have even had one camp done. So you can just see like, this is just super bad pathing by Peanut here. Peanut's like solo losing the game with this pathing. Which is actually really bad jungling. There's no reason for him to get Scuttle or anything. So you just see like, look at all the pressure they have on mid. Like, look at that guy's health. Imagine if this guy is chunked like this, and then instead of being here, you're done. You have Raptors and Wolves done, and you're like here. This would have been Infernal Drake, or this would have been pushing them back from getting this wave. So like, instead of getting this wave collapsed, which they're doing, like they wouldn't have the push on the bot lane, and they would have lost Infernal Drake off of this. There's like so many things they could have done with this particular instance of pathing, and just because like, yeah, Peanut just played this really bad. And just missing these kind of timing windows is what loses you a game when you're playing a team comp like this. Zoe out of mana. I think she has Unsealed Spellbook, so she can take TP. So like what she would do is she would just TP back. She would just buy and then TP straight back in the lane right here. So it doesn't matter if she's out of mana. So if you look, like he would have just, like look at Azir. Like Azir needs to get a base timing off here too. Azir like just got like free base timing and everything off that. Just kind of sucked. And then now you can see like, because of his bad pathing, like look where Peanut ends up on the map. So like, you'll never be able to pressure that Scion ever with Gnar. I don't think he'll ever take turret. You'll never progress the game. So like him ending up on the top side like this is just really bad. He should be at bot side right now, and they should have all this bot control, but they just don't have it. And then now Gragas has all the pressure on bottom. And to see how they take over the river. So like, see how they have no river control now, and bot lane is actually their win condition, bottom mid. And then now they just lost all control of the map that they're supposed to be controlling. And they end up handing off blue. And this is actually what loses them Infernal Drake. Isn't that crazy? So basically, if you go back in time, they lost Infernal Drake at I mean, they lost it when he died, but when they really lost it was right here at 10 minutes. They literally lost Infernal Drake at 10 minutes in the game. So if you go like forward in the future, you go forward, forward, forward. Whoops. So isn't that crazy? This Infernal Drake that they lost at... This Infernal Drake that they lost 2 minutes in the future, they lost because of a play that was made at 10 minutes. Or not even 2 minutes, 3 minutes into the future. So isn't that crazy? A play at 12 minutes and 40 seconds was decided from a decision, from a micro decision made by the jungler at 10 minutes into the game. Isn't that insane? That's insane, isn't it? That's League of Legends right there, boys. That's nutty. Pros plan that far ahead? I plan that far ahead when I play. That's how you're supposed to play. That's what smart players do. So then, now, you can see, like, now they're trying to control River, which they should have had full control over for, the last 4 minutes. So this control is, like, already too late in the game, I feel like. I feel like they've lost their... I feel like Zoe can't pressure mid, like, the way she's supposed to anymore. So all this, like, bot control is just, like... And he keeps doing this, dude. Why does he... You see, like, he goes Raptors. And then he gets spotted on the ward, which is fine. He just gets spotted by basing here. And, like, this is just... I don't know. Peanut just played this game just fucking awful. He just played this game so bad. Let me tell... And this is all based on his pathing coming out, so... Gromp. Pandoff blue. Wolves. Red. Holy shit, that pathing. Yeah, just really inefficient. So, like, watch Peanut here in his pathing here. So... Watch him right here. So he does Gromp, Red, Wolves, Ward Jungle, Raptors. So do you see how inefficient that pathing was based on like his previous path where he set it up? That was just like super bad pathing by Peanut, which is really ugly. Anyways, we'll go on. I was just like focusing on the jungler a lot just because I just wanted to highlight how how badly Peanut played this game and why they lost the game. So now they're going to control River, but there's no dragon to even like contest, so controlling River doesn't really do that much. And Tahm Kench can roam up and fuck with them too. So this is their bot play. Could Zoe have come in sooner on this? I don't think Zoe should have heal right now. I think he should have TP. So then Zoe comes in. Damn, Prey gets cucked. I think they went kind of early on this play. I understand the reasoning on it. Like, they wanted to come in and, like, clean it up with Predator. This makes sense to me, but I think they just went a little bit too early. And they just got kind of cucked on it. And, yeah, this is just, like... They even know Gragas is in the river. Oh, I mean, this is actually because he didn't... Well, he cleared that pink. Yeah, so he cleared that. So they know Gragas is here. He hesitated then. Yeah, you can see the hesitation in the call. Just look at Peanut's pathing. You can see the hesitation. So he goes up here. Now the call is made right now. Like, we should play bottom. I guarantee the call right now is, I have mid push. Can we go make bot play? And then they're just late. So you can just see like the small... It was just very delayed on the play, so... Poor communication overall by... Not poor communication, but poor decision making. And they almost lost mid turret off of that as well. And this is just like... I don't know. I just don't like the way that Peanut played the map on this. So then they go to get the so they're they have a reset timing up. And they're going to use that to like pressure here. And then they're going for all this shit. Maybe almost, that would have like fucked him up. They would have taken bot turret if they hit that Q, I think. And then now they can't take bot turret because they're on a base timing. And Sion can TP as well. And now their bot lane just gets kind of pressured out. Because those two plays were like messed up, I think the game is like pretty much over at this point, in my opinion, because Azir is just scaled up and they have 3 mega tanks against Zoe. And then eventually everybody gets QSS. Like, this guy already has QSS on Tom. So Tom can't be pulled. Tom can eat the person who gets pulled. I think Gragas even goes for first item QSS as well. So he can't be pulled. And then I think Azir gets a QSS as well. And that's just how Skarner comps are. If you miss your timing windows and everybody gets QSS, it's really hard to play the game. And then they go back to controlling bottom. So they're just like late on a base timing. So you can see how they lose the dragon off of this. So now he's just sitting in the bush here. This is an interesting play. So they're like Tahm Kench ultimate Azir into bot. I thought this was a good play by Africa. Because there's no mid turret. And I think... Yeah, they blue trinketed so they see Skarner here. This is actually a really good play by Africa. Tahm Kench coming up here. And then blue trinketing, and then they just hit the go button. So this turns into a 4v3 real quick. And then by the time the Zoe gets into the play with the TP, it's just going to be too late. I think Sion's like just more... He's just stronger in this play as well. Good disengage, though. So they got both of their TPs out. Mid turret's already gone, so it doesn't really matter. They end up getting bot turret off this, too. I'm surprised they... I want to go back and see this play again. I'm surprised they couldn't get more off of this. Because Azir comes in, they ultimate Alistar and Kai'Sa. Yeah, Varus is a little too far away to ultimate. And then he pulls him in. Yeah, it's hard for him to get any damage off here. It is a hype play, I respect it. It could have gone good for them. Yep, Tahm Kench is very strong because of those river plays. Controlling the river is how you win with Tahm Kench. You can string people out really hard. His global is super strong. Yeah, Kingzone definitely disengaged that very well. And then they end up swapping the lanes off of that because they took bot turret. And it's 22 minutes in the game, so like Baron is like really easy to take for pretty much both sides because that's Rageblade Kai'Sa, so she can take it. And then Africa like also has Varus for Rageblade, so he can take it very easily as well. And they have Azir. So, yeah, they're just gonna like try to control top side of the river right now. And this is where I think Africa's team comp is stronger because they can... So you see how like the Azir and the Gragas are going in to control the river right now? Tahm Kench and Varus can get in on that play really fast, so it's kind of hard for Kingzone to control vision at this point in the game. And they have Banshees on Azir, so it's really hard to pick him. And they have QSS on Gragas. So there's like almost no way that they can stop them from controlling vision. And you can see how they like bleed them out of vision here. So now there's like, they don't have any vision on it. And that's why they're able to get this top turret. And then they just, they go in and they just have like the full vision control. And basically like, Kingzone just can't go into check right now. And they're just going to run out of wards. I think they do like a Baron sneak here. Yeah, they're just like constantly controlling vision here. Why did they... I want to see why they made this call. Oh yeah, I think Gragas sees them over here. So they know Gnar has no TP. They know somebody just hit that blast plant right there. Oh, they see Zoe. So they know 2 people right now are on the blue buff. So they just start the Baron right here like this. And they just like melt that shit. And now the game is just over at this point. Do people build Targons on jungle? Some people do to get vision control, but I don't particularly like it. I think it's like boosted as fuck. I think even in competitive it's boosted. I don't think you should do it. I think that you should just have a yellow trinket and just have a lot of pink cords, and then your mid laner can get a sweeper, or like even your ADC can get a sweeper. Although like blue trinket's very useful, but if you're ahead, I think you can change one of those into a sweeper. So. And then pretty much the game's over now. Like, there's just no way Kingzone can win this game. I mean, I'm just gonna like fast forward through it and you'll just like see the siege. They just have Baron, and like they just can't do anything about it. Like, they just have all these tanks. Skarner can't pull anybody because of Tahm Kench, and they have QSS. And they just slowly like take all the turrets. And then, I mean, they just kind of like slowly lose the game off of this. And just the game's just over. I think I can go to the next game now, because this game's just like over. Like, they're just gonna, I think they just siege here, just, oh, one of these pushes, they just take the turret in the game. They just like bleed them out. I mean, the game's just already over for this point, so we'll just go to the next game. Because like their comp is just outscaled, I think. Actually, we'll watch one more fight. We'll watch one more fight. We'll watch the Baron fight. This one right here. And they just kind of bleed them out. I mean, this is 2 times speed. I mean, they just bleed them out of vision because like they can't go on anybody. Like who is Kingzone gonna go on in this game? It's impossible for them to do anything. Yeah, it's just like you can see like they're trying to like contest the Baron vision. They just get bled out of vision. That's the Alistar. Alistar uses his combo, his ultimate. That's his flash too. And they end up in this like mid situation. Yeah, being Skarner in this game definitely sucks. Especially when you fucked up your early game. He could have done stuff in the early game, but he fucked it up. And then you can see they just push him out. They get 2 and 2. They have 2 Mountain Drakes now, so now the Baron just insta-dies. And they just kind of go in and force the Baron. I thought this was a pretty hype call to do the 50-50 like this. Like, this could have been a big Baron throw, in my opinion. I don't like that Africa did this play. I thought this was really stupid. With the way that they did it. Like, they didn't even, like, try to block him out. Like, Azir could have been near the wall trying to, like, ultimate. Or, like, no, you look, nobody on Kingzone is even, like, remotely trying to block this guy out. Gragas could have been, like, trying to ult. Like, Sion could have been winding up Q or some shit. Like, this shit shouldn't happen like this. I thought this was a bad Baron by Africa, even though they get it. He actually gets it 1100, that smite. That was a... I think he W smited or Q smited it. And then that's pretty much game over there. And then they just like siege with the Baron and like... They just siege and just take the inhibitor. So we'll go to game 2. So I think Peanut lost this game for them. And also, What's-His-Face played it bad as well. I thought the Gnar didn't do very much this game either. So that's pretty much what happened with this game. Let me pull up the next game here. Alright, I'll be right back 1 sec too though. Okay. Game 2, King Zone has blue side. Africa bans Tom Kench. So he's not in the game, and then they ban Olaf. What did I think about these bans? I think the Olaf ban is good. Swain ban is good. Do they need to ban Tom Kench, though? Trundle and Skarner are both up. I don't know if they should ban Tom Kench here, but it's fine. Nothing else has shown that it's strong in the series. Like, Kai'Sa hasn't shown to be unplay. Like, they can't play into it yet. King Zone does first pick Sion. They do Alistar and Varus. I didn't like this part of the draft where they picked Alistar here like this. I think that this should have been either a Trundle or a Skarner pick here. Like, I didn't particularly like this part of the draft where they just like double pick their bot lane right here, because this just kind of opens them up to Morgana and shit like that. I think this is like very bad. I don't think you should ever pick ban like this where you just pick both of your bot lane like straight away like this. I don't particularly like doing that, because what ends up happening here is they just get Kai'Sa and Morgana. So instead of this would have been Varus and Kai'Sa and the jungler, and this would have been jungler and Kai'Sa. So then what they could have done is they could have picked their support here and then banned to protect their support. So I think that I personally think that the way that they picked ban here was not so good, because then you see they just end up picking their jungle anyways, and it's like you're just doing the reverse order where it's like you want to protect the Trundle pick, but I personally I don't think they have Sion that you need to protect the Trundle pick in this situation. I think you just blind pick the Trundle and like call it a day. I think that's just how you do that. So I think that the way that they did their pick order was like pretty bad in this situation. And then they end up banning Nidalee and Jace, which is fine. I mean, they're really scared of this Nidalee, I guess, but I don't think they should be. I don't know. Like, Peanut's a good Nidalee, but I don't know, man. I think they should have been like more comfortable to play Skarner or Trundle into that shit. And then they end up banning Gnar, because they don't want to play Gnar against Sion top. And then, if it is Sion top, and then they ban Anivia. And then they blind pick Maokai. I thought that this was like... this should never, ever be a Maokai pick right here. This should be a Cho'Gath pick. Like, I think if you want to go down the tank route, this should 100% be a Cho'Gath pick right here. Like, every single time. This should never be Maokai. Because, like, Maokai blind pick is... You're just asking to get shit on, dude. Nobody blind picks Maokai. Like, the fuck is... Like, what is that? You don't blind pick Maokai. And then they pick Maokai, and then these people do Sedge, which Sedge into Skarner. I personally think Sedge is not that great into Skarner, but it's playable. Like, you can play it. It's fine. And then they just get the Cho'Gath pick for free here, so... I don't like the way they did that draft here. And then they see Sion. I think they could have done a better mid lane pick against Sion. I really don't like the Galio. I think that the Ryze was acceptable. It's okay. I think the Ryze is okay. And then they pull this Galio out. I really don't like this Galio. I think the Galio, like, when they did this part of the draft, they're like, right here, they're like, all right. So think about the way they did the draft. They picked losing bot lane because they let themselves get counterpicked. They picked jungler, which they tried to protect, which is like, this is a favorable matchup to Trundle, but I don't even think that, like, that's, like, they would have picked Sejuani regardless, so the bans didn't have anything to do with that, are being third picked, so this doesn't matter. Like, yeah, they banned Nidalee, but they're, like, way too scared of Peanut. And Peanut just played a bad game, too. So then they pick Maokai, which is just, like, Maokai just loses to everything, or, like, goes even or loses. And then they don't even, like, they know it's either Sion or Cho'Gath mid, and they don't even, like, counterpick properly. They pick fucking Galio. Like, this entire pick ban from Africa was just, like, straight fucking garbage. They literally inted. Like, Africa, like, inted the fucking pick ban right here. This is, like, inting. So, I don't know, dude. They just inted. So, I'm just gonna kind of go faster this game because we'll just get to see the inting. So, basically, Trundle does solo pull, and then Sejuani doesn't get a pull, so... I mean, she gets a pull, so... Did they think Sion was going top? It doesn't matter where Sion's going. Sion shits on Maokai. So, like, either lane Sion's gonna win. And it's like, Cho'Gath does fine against Sion. That's like a much better matchup. Like, you can just look at this. Like, look how pressured Galio is early. He's just getting pressured to fuck. And also, like, look, your top laner's getting pressured too. And he didn't even have to pull. So it's like, and your bot lane's pressured. So, like, the map looks like this, right? If your map looks like this, does this look like you had a good draft? Sion is up on your turret. Cho'Gath is up on your turret. The bot lane is up on your turret. And the matchup that's supposed to be the counter is behind in tempo. So, this game was 100% lost in draft. Awful draft by the Africa. Awful. So you can just see the story of the early game. All early game. All early game pushed. Oh, this is actually an interesting gank here. So he goes in. If this Morg didn't hit this bind, this guy would have been dead. Because he... Actually, if he has like a god reaction, he could pull a flash here, but that's still dangerous as fuck. I think right here, he should have pulled flash the... I think he should have stayed in the bush and pulled flash the Morgana. I don't like the way Gorilla played, or Tucson played this, actually. Right here, he should have stayed in the bush and challenged... See how, like, Morgana's challenging to push him out of the bush? This should be pull flash into headbutt. Or, like, E. And then, like, Trundle will come up, and then he'll pillar down here after he flashes, and then you'll kill him. But, like, the way he played it, they went for ADC. And they just, yeah, they just didn't get anything off of that. I thought they played that too scared. I think that they could have played this, like, way hypier. I don't really like that gank. Thanks for the host for us within. Sorry I had to get you with the Kindred ban. And then, yep. And then, so now they're just farming. So I think Sejuani got pretty much a free early game. Like, you can actually see her CS. She's up in tempo. She has 39 to 30. And generally, Sejuani should be down tempo to just about every single jungler in the early game. But it's actually up tempo. So, I think that just the early game from Africa and the pick band so far, it's just like cucking the shit out of them. And then, this is an interesting pick by BDD. Look at this. So they see him on the ward, and they think that he's going to walk into get vision, right? And then look at this. They think he's going to walk down here, and they're just going to cuck him. I don't think it's your Skarner. I think, you know when you invaded Raptors on the second spawn, you know that's what lost you the game, right? So, like, when you invaded my Raptors, you were level 5, and I was, like, dinging level 6. So, basically, when you showed there, that means that you didn't protect your red side. So, we had priority on mid, and then I was able to, like, actually invade and force on your red side off of that, and that's when you guys lost the game. So it wasn't, I don't know, I don't think it's your Skarner. I think that was just like a poor decision on jungle pathing. We punished. But yeah, anyways. So somehow Trundle's getting out farmed here pretty hard, and Sejuani just got like a free early game, and there's still like no pressure on, like if I look at Africa's team comp, I'm like, how do they progress the game from this point? They can't play topside, they can't play mid, and they can't play bottom. And they're just losing, they're literally losing everything. So it's like, where do you make a play to progress the game at this point in the game? I think it's impossible, unless you like dive top. And then, so now it's pretty much like, I think the game is actually lost for Africa at this point. I literally see no way they can lose this game, or Kingston can lose this game. They just they have full control on all three sides. Like, how do you win this game? It actually looks impossible to me. I almost just want to go to the, like, looking at this, I almost just want to go to the next game because it looks so bad. Like, look at the laning on bottom even. So it's like here, like, he combos in, they just get double Morgana ultied. And actually they end up losing that trade, which is interesting. I was surprised they lost that trade like that, actually. But then Sejuani just comes and he just gives them free base. Oh yeah, this is really greedy by Kramer. I thought this was super greedy by Kramer. Like, look at it. So he's trying to get the XP. So he walks up to get the XP on this. and then Peanut just comes in and cucks him. And after he dies here, I feel like the only lane that Africa could potentially play through. I feel like the only lane that Africa could play through right now was their bot lane. And when Kramer dies here and has to blow sums, it's just like game over. Because are they going to be able to get top turret off of Maokai pressuring? Nope. Are they going to be able to get mid turret off of Galio pressuring? Nope. So when their bot lane dies here, they literally just instantly, the game is just over. Like they literally just like insta lost the game. So like you see every lane down CS, like they're getting out pressured like everywhere. And then they're going to get this reset in. And then they just kind of roll up on mid with their Morgana and shit because they have the base timing. And I mean the game is just over now. Like they lost this in draft. Like I haven't seen a draft this bad in like, dude, I've like seen Golden Guardians like draft better than this shit, dude. This Africa draft in this game was like a solo, like this is like I've seen better solo queue drafts. Like solo queue is like better drafting than this. This was like inting, dude. You can't draft like this. This is fucking boosted as fuck, dude. I'm just gonna go next game, man. We gotta go next. This draft is just too boosted. I can't, dude. It's too boosted. When they draft like that, it's like, do you even want to win this game? Like, are you trying to play? Like that was some boosted shit, dude. They can't be drafting like this, man. It just don't go down like that. So then Africa's like, all right. So this is when the series took a complete change in tempo. So if you look at the pick ban, they stuck with the Olaf and the Swain and the Nidalee, which is completely fine. And they changed it up. They're like, fuck, we can't deal with Sion. Like this is when the pacing of the series completely changed. So if you look, they're like, we can't deal with Sion. Fuck, like, what do we do? So here, they just pick Sion right here, right? It's like, wait, you could have dealt with Sion if you didn't pick, like, Baboons. And then they pick... This Morgana pick comes out. I thought the priority of the Sion pick and the Morgana pick completely changed the pacing of this series. And also the fact that... Kingzone finally manned the fuck up and just picked Trundle blind. I mean, whatchamacallit? Africa could have picked Trundle blind, but teams like manned the fuck up and they started picking Trundle blind after they see one tank. Like, this is how Africa should have. Remember what I was saying? They should have just picked their Trundle blind in the ADC in the second part of the draft. Like, this is how Africa should have drafted in the game 2, where they just pick their when they see the Sion pick, they should just pick Trundle and Kai'Sa, and then you see how they have to pick jungle and support. They have to blind this shit, and even picking support here is fucking boosted as fuck. Like, why are you picking Tahm Kench right here? Like, just they don't want to play Skarner into Tahm is the problem here. But it's like, dude, just I don't know, man. I just don't like that. Just go play your Kha'Zix or some shit, dude. Like. Actually, Mowgli doesn't play Kha'Zix, so the fact that they had to play Skarner into Trundle, Trundle has a much higher win rate. Let me look it up. I'll show you actually like the Trundle win rate into Skarner. I thought that this part of the pick ban it just showed that Africa didn't understand the meta very well. I don't think that they understood the meta very well for this particular patch. So we'll do 8.5 and we'll do 8.6. So if we look at, we'll look at Skarner, right? This is Skarner on 8.5, pretty high win rate, 54% overall. You got 8.5, 50%. Trundle, negative, has a losing win rate. Not many games played since there wasn't that many. Like the sample size is kind of weird, but like Trundle's completely good into Skarner. And you go 8.6. It doesn't show it, but Trundle has beaten a lot of Skarners in these games. Actually, it has like a pretty much a here's 2 defeats and 1 win, or 3 defeats and 1 win. So it's 1-3 against Trundles. So it's just like poor understanding of what's strong in the meta right here. This is like just poor understanding. So I think that this should have been, if they're going to do the draft like this Scion should have been a Trundle. I'm completely fine with it being a Scion as well. It can be a Scion too if they want. But I think that this should have been a Trundle. Like, if I looked at that last series, I would have picked Trundle here and not Scion. Then they would have responded with probably their Jungle and ADC or Scion and ADC. And this would completely change the way that they did the draft. So I thought that personally, Africa just like didn't have a good understanding of like what actually beats what, and like what the strengths and weaknesses are in this particular patch. So you can kind of see it, because what ends up happening is they pick Morg into Tom. Tom is fine into Morg, don't get me wrong, but the thing is Tom could never pressure Kai'Sa. So, well, they blind picked Tom because they didn't want them to play Kai'Sa Tom, but I don't even think Kai'Sa Tom is that strong of a lane, because then you can go, there's so many things that you can pick into Tom. Like, Tom is a great blind, but there's plenty of picks you could pick into Tom that like are actually strong picks in Tom. So they could have like set their 1, 2, 3 up like way better in this situation. And then they ban Vayne. Vayne is like actually decent into Kai'Sa, and they ban Varus. Completely good pick ban by Kingzone here. And then they ban the Zoe and the Gangplank. I think Gangplank is a fine ban because they want to play Scion top. Zoe's like whatever. They think it's strong. That's okay. And then they pick Azir blind. Completely fine. So like, what is Kingzone's reaction to Azir blind? Let's look at it. So they pick Jin Tom. Jin Tom is an actually strong lane, but the problem is that this team comp is kind of low damage. This is a fine team comp, completely acceptable, but Kai'Sa is a completely different beast than anything that you guys have seen in the playoffs for the Western, because it's on 8.5 and also Kai'Sa's not enabled, and people are playing like Caitlyn and shit like that into Jhin. Kai'Sa is like a completely different monster, because when you're playing 2 threat comps, Kai'Sa can actually kill your backline, and she just destroys fucking tanks. Like, you try to play a 3 tank comp against Kai'Sa, she'll fucking run that shit over. So they had a really smart setup here. They picked Taliyah and they try to play the priority base play, and they try to play for like backline. So I think that this is a really good draft by them. I think Africa has a winning draft as they can win with this draft. They can definitely win, but I think that like in order for them to win, they need to be able to control the Taliyah in the early game. And I didn't like the 1, 2, 3 on the pick ban, so I think that Africa like fucked up their 1, 2, 3 really badly. Felt like Africa was picking against the team, not the champs being drafted. That's not how you do drafting, though. That's how teams fuck up drafting, is they try to take away. They don't like think about like how a champ, like, just because somebody's playing a certain champion doesn't give that champion special powers. It's not like my boy Gorilla's playing Tom, and then now Tom has like an extra like 1,000 health and like move speed, you know? That's not how you do, like, that's not League of Legends. A champion is a champion. If you understand how to play against it, what's good against it, what counters it, then you can do shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how a pick ban is supposed to work. That's how it's supposed to work, dude. But nope. So, if you see, there's a situation where I consider the player, only if they're like a 1 or 2 trick, but that's not very common. So they end up, Skarner solos his Raptor. Oh, wait, no, they pull for Skarner, he does his red, and Trundle solos his camp, which is interesting. So basically this gives the push advantage to Kingzone's bot lane. So now Kingzone have an advantage on bot lane where they're gonna get push advantage. So in order to play a Tom Jhin lane, you have to have push priority. So I think Skarner should not have started red. I think that he should have started on blue. Or they should have invaded into top side. Well, they can't invade. I think he should have started on blue. I think that his pathing was like not very good here. So I don't like the fact that he did red in Raptors here, because now, like, if you look at the bot lane situation, this Jhin and Tom lane should be pushing into here, and they lose out on the timing window when they can actually get an advantage. So you can see, like, this lane that's even should have been a pushing lane. Like, Jhin Tom is a lane that you need to get the push in early. So by doing this jungle start, you can see the disadvantage it gave him. Mowgli actually had his early game plan is okay. Like, he did a level 3 gank on. This is actually just really dumb by Khan, to be honest. So Khan comes into lane, and he just, like, hard pushes the lane. I guess, like, what he didn't think that Skarner would do a level 3 gank on him. So this was smart pathing by Mowgli. But this is, like, dumb by Khan as it is good by Mowgli. Because generally, Skarners don't do level 3 ganks in most cases because they do a full clear because that's Skarner's strength. And on top of that, I don't think Trundle should do Raptors here. So imagine if Trundle didn't do his Raptors. Trundle actually has a very good level 3, by the way. I think Trundle should have moved in here and contested his Scuttle, because he knows that his top laner is pushing. So this is just another instance of bad... Oh, wait, he didn't do even a 3 camp. What? Oh, wait, this is a level... Yeah, he could have done it. Oh, because he soloed. Okay, never mind. He did camp to camp. This is really weird pathing by Peanut, because he soloed, which is fine. So he would have never been there on time. Okay, never mind. Peanut's fine. Take that back. I'm actually mistaken, because I forgot that he soloed the camp. This is just done by Khan, to be honest. Like, because he walked into lane and he hard pushed the lane. Like, you can see, like, he just hard pushed the lane. They knew that Skarner started bottom and he hard pushed the lane, because he was banking on the fact that Skarner wouldn't level 3 gank him, that he would do a full clear. So this is just like... Khan's just trying to play the lane greedy. Because, like, what he wants to do is he wants to crash the wave and he wants to bounce it. So that, like, by the time that Skarner actually clears all his shit, then the wave will be up here. And Khan will be safe. But you can actually see that that doesn't pay out because the level 3 gank. So smart adaptation by Mowgli to change his jungle route to gank this guy. But poor decision making by Khan to get greedy to try to do the push and crash. So. And then... Africa's bot lane, they're stuck under turret, which is not like the worst thing in the world. Oh yeah. Kuro tries to crash this wave without... Did they actually get the crash on this? Oh, I want to see this. Oh, this is actually a mistake. So right here, Mowgli and the Scion should have crashed the wave here and not give him the... This is why he dies here. So, like, you can see here, A, Skarner didn't ward Tribrush for him, and B, they didn't crash the wave. So, like, Skarner should have warded Tribrush, and then they should have done Scuttle, and then he would have full vision. But instead, what ends up happening is no vision, and now Scion wants to crash the wave while he's down a buy and he doesn't have flash, and he ends up dying because of it. So, like, you can see, like, this is a bad ward. This ward should be here, and then this Scuttle should be taken, so... This is bad jungle and top synergy by the... This is actually really surprising, man. To see these kind of mistakes from, like, the highest tier Korean teams. Damn, this is actually crazy, man. These are, like, very simple mistakes. I'm very surprised to see... Like, these are the premier highest tier Korean teams, and they're making these kind of mistakes. These are, like, very, very basic mistakes, in my opinion. So... Now he has to, like, because that whole situation happened, now he has to waste even more time, and his tempo is really down because he has to come up here, and now he has to crash the wave. This wave should have been crashed a full minute ago when they did the original gank. So, like, look at the amount of time he's wasting. This is so stupid. And look at Trundle. Trundle just gets back out on the map, like, way faster because of that. So, Mowgli's level 3 gank was actually really smart. However, what he did after the level 3 gank was really stupid, and it actually ended up costing them their entire early game. Interesting stuff. And then now you can see, so basically at this point, if he didn't lose all that tempo, both these doubles and Raptors would have been down right now. And instead of Trundle, like, basically what would happen is Skarner would have done doubles and Raptors, been higher CS and higher level. He would be like almost level 6 off at this point. He'd be meeting Trundle, who would be down a level, and also be down items in the river. And he would actually be able to contest him on the Scuttle with the Azir trailing. And they'd also be able to, like, take away this, like, bot priority. So you see how they have to, like, kind of bitch out down here on bottom? Because the timings are off. You see how they ping Trundle here? They know Trundle's here? So that one situation where he didn't crash the wave properly actually lost them the entire early game because of that. Isn't that crazy? That's crazy, dude. All these timings are just completely different now. And look, he even loses his Raptors because of that. Mowgli actually just lost himself the game by doing this. All his timings in early game are off now. And look at this. Look how bitch they have to play. Now he has to waste all this time clearing this vision. Their river control is, like, okay, but even the bot lane's timing window on their push is, like, bad. So like now you see how like Morgana's actually in the river here. Instead of Morgana being here in the river, this should be Tahm Kench in the river. This should have been Tahm Kench in the river, not the Morgana, because their base timing would have been better. Crazy. And then now his timing is off. He wasn't able to actually... So you can see also Trundle got his free... You got this second spawn of Raptors right here when Skarner's spending time clearing out the river. This should have been Skarner moving up to contest on these Raptors. And then like also Azir should have been able to get the push. But Azir couldn't get the push because you see, look at this. He has to play scared because of this situation where they're scared of Trundle. Their entire early game actually got fucked off of not crashing the wave top lane. It's insane, baby. And then now they have no jungle pressure. And then now he gets his red. The bot lane still has no control because of that. And yep, in order to beat Taliyah, you have to be able to control the bot river. And it's very hard to control the bot river when you don't have pressure on bottom because of Morgana pick, and also because the timing is off. So they handed off the blue here. I don't understand this play, so I think that I don't like this either. I don't like this at all by I don't like this. I think that right here, the Taliyah should... I don't know why... What does he buy here on this base? So he... Actually, it's fine. They would just back off from bottom. I don't think they can get the bot dive. I take that back. I take that back. So, now Skarner is fishing for this gank mid, which is good. In order to beat Kingzone's team comp, you have to take out mid out of the game. And now they just need to get that river control right now. So, in order for Africa to win the game, they have to get the river control. And this is just another byproduct from Skarner being down tempo, is that this is a timing window when... See how, like, Azir has the push mid? This is a timing window where if, like, his whole tempo didn't get messed up, his two camps would have been down top already, and Skarner would have been able to actually contest on the river vision here. So his whole timing got messed up this game, off the early game. So now, because that timing got messed up, now they control the river. They have to play scared because they're afraid of the dive, and they have no control on river. And now they have to go back and get the control. This is actually good. They finally recovered the control in the river, but I don't think they got very good vision. Yeah, they didn't even really get control of the river. Like, Kingzone still had the pink in the bush. They still have, like, the scuttle. They still have really good river vision here. So, I don't think that Africa ever really got control of the bot side this game. So now Trundle ends up going... This is an interesting play, this Flash Ultimate. I thought this was good. Missed the line, though. I think they could have synced this up better with like a Taliyah. Could Taliyah have ever gotten in on these plays? Yeah, I don't like this. So, you know how like Trundle's going for this gank here? Instead, he should be pinking where Tahm Kench just was. He should pink that. And then he should... And then Taliyah should come in on this play, because then that would allow Taliyah to actually have the push on mid, and they would be able to make their play better. So I don't think this is actually a very good play by Kingzone. I think that they actually use their Taliyah improperly here. And, yeah. They could have done more with it. And then they end up going for the Raptor fight. Wow, they actually lose. This is dumb. They spent all that time controlling the bot side, and they end up losing the Infernal Drake because Peanut goes to control top side for no reason. I don't understand this. I actually really don't like the way that Peanut plays with BDD. I actually think that Peanut doesn't understand how to play with PDD very well. This is interesting. This is like the quote-unquote best team in the world. I don't think that Peanut knows how to play around a mid laner very well. That's interesting, dude. His pathing right here, like, look at this. They have priority on mid lane. Right here. They have priority coming up on mid lane because he's on a base timing. Bot lane has priority. And he goes and controls top side. And does doubles. You should never do doubles there. I guess, like, Taliyah is going to go by. Taliyah has a very good big buy here, but that's all the more reason to go, like, try to protect this bot lane vision. Or to back on the same timing as a Taliyah. I just don't like this, dude. I would have used this... This is actually an instance where I say TL is a better team than Kingzone. Because TL would have taken Dragon off of this. They would have recognized the base timing on the Azir here. They would have used that base timing and the priority on bottom, and they would have just taken Infernal Drake right here. This is actually bad play by Kingzone. And they lose Infernal Drake, even though they have priority on bot and mid. Very strange. Very strange indeed. Very strange. I don't like it. Very strange. So, now, to be honest, this whole early game is going exactly the way that Africa wants it to go, because Azir is scaling for free, and they have possibility of win condition because of that. And now, I think, oh, they're finally doing it, dude. Look at this. They're finally doing it. So look at this. They finally group up. They push mid together. They get the full vision to control. They go in and take the Raptors together. They finally control everything. And then they finally get the fucking control on this. And they're threatening. And then Taliyah bases for Merc Treads. He has full mana and he bases here. Bruh. I hate this, dude. It's Sion's top too. He can't even TP in. Did I... I'm actually pretty upset with how Kingzone's playing this game. Why can't they, like... Why can't they pressure harder off of this? I mean, I guess. I don't know. Alright, well, Taliyah is back on the map, and she should get the push. Maybe now they'll do it. But the thing is they never trailed the Taliyah to get the push on mid. So, if you look at this, like, see this? So basically, they know that Azir needs to get in on the play, so Mowgli goes and he contests this here so that Azir can push mid and get down on the bot play here. So, now they're, like, doing the same thing. They're mirroring the play. Oh, here it is. And Kai'Sa can just kind of come in on this play. And they just get fucked off of this, dude. This is actually wild to me, man. I think it's wild. I think Kingzone... I'm actually looking at this. I think Kingzone actually doesn't know how to play the map very well. This is crazy, dude. Very interesting. Very poor use of the Taliyah. This is crazy. This is not how you want to, like, you don't want to play your team comp like this. So you go back on this. Like, you don't, I mean, I understand, like, you can get a really nice pick here. This is, like, a good look on the pick here. I like it. But it's like, this isn't how you want to play your team comp as Kingzone. You want to play trail mid with Trundle. Get the push on Taliyah. Take over the fucking bot side vision. Clear out the bot tri vision. Back off. And then just do it again, and then just get the dive off and kill the Tahm Kench. And they just, like... I don't know, man. Why are you fighting mid around Taliyah? That seems really odd to me. Seems very interesting. Huh. Wow. That's just interesting, dude. I don't know, man. This is a nice little play here. So they blast plant over here, and they get a pillar off into Trundle into the, pillar off into Tahm Kench into the bind. I think Trundle's actually really good against Tahm Kench. Because not only is, like, his percentage-based damage really good against Tahm, but the Q slow is good, and the pillar is, like, kind of cucks him really hard, because you can't outplay the Trundle slow. And then they end up getting the bot turret off of this. So this is interesting to me, because... Oh, they just get the dragon, too. Oh, did they get the dragon? Nope. they get pushed out. Oh, because Tahm Kench has TP. Yeah, very good to like play reserve there. Oh, this is a really good top play here. So they use the this is something I noticed Africa does a lot. So they'll so if you notice they'll push somebody out of bot and they'll do the cross map play here. Well, they'll go mid into top. So they go mid. This is actually something I don't know if you guys are watching when we were playing the Clash games with you know, Voyboy and all them. But remember I was playing Tahm Kench and I went to mid and I gained mid prio and then I went from bot to mid to top. And this is just something you can do. You can do a full cross map play. And you can use that like to help out on your priority and shit. So you see how they just do the full cross map play, and then Tahm Kench gets up in here, and then you just like you can take top turret off of that. So really, really good use of Tahm Kench there. And they end up trading turrets out off that. So. Now, the Sion ends up swapping lanes, and I honestly think that I think Kingzone end up losing this game, or Africa ends up losing this game because their comp gets outscaled really hard by the Kai'Sa. I think Kai'Sa just scales like way too. I think Kai'Sa is disgusting as she gets items, so. Basically, they just need to control this top side here. They put Kai'Sa mid and Taliyah in the side lane, which is fine. And they just need to try to take over this like top side river and control this shit. Which they sort of do. It's kind of hard because nobody has QSSs yet. Like, until people get QSS, it's kind of hard to play against Garner. So, like, that's why you kind of see Africa, like, pushing them. Like, Africa's actually playing this early game pretty well, to be honest. And they're really good use of, like, if you look, Sion comes up. If you look when this happens, so, and watch this. This is crazy. So on Khan's window of opportunity, he takes the wolves, or he takes the raptors, right? And then, I mean, they're like fishing for a fight too. So then he has to go back to bottom. And he took that vision over, and then now he has to go back and catch the wave that Sion like was pushing. So this is Sion's window of opportunity, and then. This is what Sion does on his window of opportunity. He comes mid, and he does this, and they take mid turn off of this. So this was just overall a better use of their window of opportunity than Kingzone. So
I just washed this. Why are you using that?
And then I think they threaten the Baron off of this, but they get Taliyah walled. And then I can't even remember how Africa messes this game up because they look like they have all the dragon control. I think they just get outscaled because Jhin just sucks late game. Yeah, like, this is pretty troll. So Azir is weird. So Azir goes top. They know Taliyah just pushed. I don't think Azir should go top here. I think this is boosted as fuck. So look, Azir pushed mid and he wants to go top to catch the Taliyah wave even though they're going to the dragon. So Africa get in here pretty well. Wait, is this a bug? Look at Sion. I think he bugged out. Look. Wait, what? Wait, what? Why is he ulti this way? So he ultis this way and he dies for free. Wait, does he die for free? Yeah, he dies for free. And then they just like catch them and they kill them all. This is all Kuro's fault, in my opinion. So this to me is this is Kuro's fault. He should never go top here. He should either push mid even harder, like push this next wave, or he should go to just help them with the dragon. But instead, he goes top and gets greedy for the wave. And look, now he's like just running late. So Kuro actually lost in the game by going top there. Or Sion could have also flashed, he could just flashed over the wall as well. And it just looks like that. Very interesting, dude. Well, they killed Kai'Sa, but I think this is where the tempo of the game changes. I think that Azir going top actually like blew the game up for them. Because now if you look, they lost control of the game, and they just go in and they just start controlling all top side. Well, they actually get pushed out. I take that back. Oh yeah, here it is, the Baron throw. So they go to try to do the same type of Baron that they did in the first game that they won, but nobody tries to prevent the Trundle from coming in the pit. They do secure the Baron, but this is actually an insane wall by Taliyah. Look at this. Watch this wall. He has the foresight. The call is made now, like, try to steal the Baron, and we'll wall him off and kill him afterwards. So he has the foresight to put the wall. Look at the wall. Now they have no way of escaping outside of flashing. They know that they don't have that many flashes up. They don't have any flashes on their carries. And then they just come in and clean them up, dude. And now they're just like boxed in. This is an insane wall by BDD, to be honest. Like, this wall was insane, like the foresight on this. Like, that's so fucking... Like, this wall wins them the game right here. It's such a good wall. And now they're just like boxed in, and they just get fucking tore up, dude. So that's 3 kills that they just lost, even though they did get Baron. That's still pretty rough, dude. That was like, they just got gatted down in the streets. And now Kai'Sa is powered up. She has her items and she has QSS as well. So like, they have Baron and they want to siege. Remember, only 2 people have Baron, and one of them is not even with the team at this point. They're actually sieging without their primary tank. And once again, this is another really good use of Taliyah wall, and taking advantage of the fact that both Azir and Jhin don't have flash from the original fight where Azir didn't come down to the dragon. So that fight all the way like 5 minutes ago actually ended up losing Africa the game because Azir didn't come down to dragon, and they had to blow their flashes to survive that situation. Because look at this. Pillar. They know Kramer still has no flash. And he just insta-dies. And even if Tom eats it, Tom could eat him and flash, though. Tom should honestly just eat him and flash the wall here. This is stupid by... But he just wasted his eat. Look at this. He just wasted his eat. Look at this. Look. So he wasted his eat. And now, right now, Kingzone's comms are... Tom used his eat. His eat's down. Like, we can fuck Kramer here. He has no flash. They know if Kramer's flash is going to be down for another 10 seconds because high tier teams time summoners. They're like, he has no eat. Kill him. Kill him. And then they kill him. And then they have to blow flash. Great flash bind. And then they just run that ass down, dude. And then they get top turret off that. They get dragon. They get to push out bot wave for free. Now they get to actually group up. Kai'Sa's now like maximum items. All pro teams time summoners. Not all teams capitalize on those summoners being down, though. So now, pretty much, I think that Kingzo's team comp is just outscaled at this point. Outside of Azir, I think Azir is the only person that outscales on the enemy team. So now they just have Kai'Sa with Morgana Black Shield, and they have Trundle ultimate to cuck whoever wants to come into the team that's a tank. So so they end up going for this play here when this is like an interesting play to go for. So they know that they have mid priority. So this is actually just stupid. Like, I don't know why Africa would ever go for this play. I mean, they think that they can kill him before anything happens, which is true. But if you look, they have no mid priority. So Tahm Kench has to eat and put them up there, which he does do. He gets them up here actually really fast. This is actually a 5v4. So, but Azir is so chunked from the fight before. Yeah, Azir is actually just so chunked. And this is a really good TP by Cho'Gath. Cho'Gath actually almost one-shots him. Look, this to be honest, this is a good and bad play. This is a very hype heads-up play from Africa, because this isn't their window to make a play, but they do it anyways. I think Azir went the wrong direction here. I think he should have went to the right. Oh, he got flashed on. Yeah, he should have went to the right. And then he gets flashed, eaten. He gets good damage off, though. But they hit the knock-up on Kuro, and then... Yeah, I think if Kuro had kited to the right, that would have been better. And then Kai'Sa just kills everybody, because Kai'Sa just broken as fuck. And they just lose the game off of that. Yep. So, I think Azir actually played that small difference in how the fight was played. I think actually ended up losing them the game, because that led to Azir getting knocked up and Kai'Sa getting into a really good position to flank on them. And they just kind of lose the game after that. So, I thought that I thought Africa played the early and mid game far superior to how Kingzone played the early and mid game, despite Kingzone actually out-drafting in every single lane. So to me, I actually think Kingzone's not that strong of a team early mid game if Peanut is not on a comfortable champion. That's what I've come to the conclusion of. And I think that Kingzone just has far better mechanical play and positioning in like some of these late game skirmishes, and that's what actually leads to them being able to win a lot of these situations, and also be able to capitalize so well on like people being down summoners and stuff like that. So I'm done with that game. We'll go into game 4. I actually didn't end up seeing game 4. I fell asleep after the pick ban because it was really late, but we'll look at it. Right, I want to be right back 1 sec. Is it dinner time for you, Kimchi? It is.
Giving her something else. She eats earlier. We waited pretty long to give her food. It hurts.
I will give you food.
Yeah, because Brand didn't give her food
About-
at 7.
I was about to give her the food.
It's 8:30.
Uh-oh, Kimchi's like, give me the food now. Okay. Let's do game 4. Dun, 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 dun. Alrighty then. So they picked Kai'Sa, and the blind picked Tom with the Kog'Maw. Interesting. I think this is okay because of how well Africa used the Tahm Kench in the previous games. However, I still, once again, would not have picked ban like this. I think that Africa is too afraid of getting punished for blind picking Trundle. And I think that that's just something that actually bit them in the ass. And on top of that, I think that this Scion should be it should be a Kai'Sa ban right here. I think Kai'Sa... I think they should have banned... I think they should have banned Kai'Sa instead, in my opinion. That, or they should have just played Trundle into Olaf and not been afraid of it, but... I don't know. But Tom and Cog is a okay lane, I think, but I think that they could have done more with this. And then they end up picking Azir into Taliyah, so they had the matchup again. Which is okay. Azir is the scaling champion, and Taliyah is the priority playmaking champion. I think that the reason I don't like this way of drafting is because if you look what happens, so now they have support and ADC, and then the enemy picks jungle and mid. They played it very hyphy. They played it heads up, and then now it's like, do I pick against the mid or do I pick against the jungle? I think Trundle is like the right pick to pick into that, but they pick Azir. And on top of that, Mowgli, they're not even afraid of his Trundle. Like, yo, Mowgli, your Trundle sucks. So they end up banning Skarner and Zac. They banned Skarner and Zac, that's fine. I think Zac and Skarner are both good into Sejuani. They're not afraid of his Trundle at all. Like, look, even Africa's like, damn, our Trundle sucks. We're not playing Trundle. Fuck that. This should have been a Trundle pick. Like, why are you picking Gragas? Like, the fuck are you doing? Shouldn't be picking... You already have an AP ADC as well. Like, go pick Trundle, dude. Pick Trundle here. Trundle's even good against Morgana. Why are you picking Gragas, bro? Like, come on. And then they pick Camille into Jace because they banned Alistar, they banned Cho'Gath. Like, these two bans don't make sense. This should have been a Cho'Gath pick. This should have been... One of these should have been a Trundle pick. Or this should have been a Trundle pick. And they should have just left Cho'Gath up. Gnar is up. You can even play Gnar here if you want to play Gnar. Like...
Always.
I don't know, man. Seems kind of bad. I feel like they fucked up the pick ban here. But I understand it. They wanted to go with a different way of trying to win the game. They picked the safe scaling bot lane. They pick the split pushing top, but they have no priority. Generally, you don't want to play champions like Camille or split pushers versus a Taliyah, because Taliyah can collapse on the top lane using her priorities. So I think that this is once again another instance where Africa actually got out-drafted on the 1, 2, 3, and their bans on the second ban phase were bad. This ban was bad, and they also did this pick ban badly on the second phase too. So they could have actually. You could actually have done a lot more with this, but I don't know. I don't like the way they drafted in this game. So we'll look at the opener. No, Camille is fine against Morgana and Kai'Sa. But yeah, so they start off the game, they pull for the Gragas, and they pull for Sejuani. So both junglers have equal start, because they both need to get to the top side to protect. They both do 3 camp into Scuttle, but Sejuani has the pacing, because Gragas is just a shittier jungle. If this was a Trundle, he would have been top at the same time, if not faster. So he's down pacing on that. Doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. And then he trails to try to get this gank off. Not too bad, though. So both junglers are pacing about the same speed. Although the problem here is, if you look, he actually got both scuttles, so he's actually up gold right now. It's not going to show until later, but he's actually up a decent amount. He's up about almost 160 to 200 gold. About 160 gold right now. I thought this was interesting that he trailed here. This is very interesting pathing. So he knows his Raptors aren't going to be up for a while and he has free time. So he just goes straight to top side to try to punish the Camille if she goes in on the Jace here. But it looks like they're not going to trade. Then he trails the Taliyah. So he's just protecting his Jace. So you see how his Jace is pushing? He needs to protect him while he's pushing at all costs. unlucky for them that that plant didn't catch him in that vision there. And he gets the pink ward, which ends up spotting out the Gragas. So this is actually a very good early path by Peanut, where he gets his vision, trails Jace, does all this stuff, and gets both of the Scuttle Crabs as well. And then he ends up getting the Raptors. Doubles. Wolves. Rump. And now he's back up on top side again. Both junglers are back up on top side. They know they both need to be top. And they're both just like trailing really hard. So I think just overall, I think that Peanut's just doing a better heads up job on controlling this 2v2 top. So this is like better jungle pathing, a better jungle champion overall. I hate Gragas. I think Gragas is something you pull out as a last resort. So Peanut ends up getting this. He trails to Taliyah, so they get the push. So right here, they know that Camille has pushed top, and Camille wants to come mid to do a roaming play. So Sejuani's calling it. They're calling it right now. They're like, yo, can you trail me and clear out this vision? See how they're hugging right side? Because they know Camille's coming. And then they end up getting the push. Jace pushes, so Camille has to come back. And then now, because he did the trail and got the push. So look at the differences between the junglers. So Gragas here doesn't trail. Then they go to handoff blue. They use that blue handoff timing to go top. And this is why people don't play shit like Camille versus Taliyah. So this is why I feel like Africa has a bad pick ban. Because of how this situation played out. This is why you don't do it, dude. He even played that about as good as you could possibly play it too, to survive it. He played it pretty nice, man. He dodged the ultimate, and he dodged like the stun. He dodged like everything, dude, and he still fucking died. And now that like priority top laner that you wanted to play around is getting fucked on by Taliyah. Like, I thought this was a bad pick ban because of this. Like, they shouldn't have gone with something like Camille if you're gonna play Azir. And then now, Jace is just gonna have all priority on top. And then they just push mid. And now, look, they're able to control bottom. So, now, like, if you look, Africa's scared, like, fuck. Like, they can just dive my top laner again. I need to protect him. So, you see how, like, Gragas is up here trying to protect? But guess what? Kingzone changes up, like, where they're going to play. Their bot lane now has priority. They have full river control because they have priority. And now they can threaten the dive with Taliyah and Sejuani right here if they want to do that. And Gragas, they don't know if Gragas is top either. So now they have full control over this. So now the Africa bot lane has to play safe. And now they're just losing out on CS as well. And they do waste a lot of time on this gank. But it just ends up being a kill trade. Like, look how much time Mowgli wasted up here. He wasted all this time. Sejuani was able to get all full the river pressure on bottom. Go mid, get mid pressure, and then get top. All the while Gragas was sitting in that top bush. So. And then the Tom comes in to try to clean this. They do end up cleaning it. This is a very good play by the Tahm Kench, though. They played the heads up. So their planning was that we know we're going to get... So basically, Africa's like, we're going to get Dove on bottom, so let's just like try to kill top and then try to trade it into top turret. This is a very smart play by Africa, by the way. The way they did the heads up here. This is actually very smart by Africa. The fact that their bot lane's coming in on this. Because they're like, let's sack bottom. We're about to get fucked. Let's go top and kill this guy and take top turret. They kill him. And then they kill Sejuani. But Taliyah ends up getting up here to actually clear out the wave. And then they just rotate the lane anyways. So, nice attempt on the play by Africa, but it ends up getting stuffed. And then now they have, once again, Camille against this Jace that's just like, it's just not paying off, dude. And Gragas is just down tempo. So, they just end up losing the turret for free. And this is just bad pick ban to me. Like, they just didn't do the pick ban very well because of this. Like, Taliyah pretty much shut down that, pretty much completely shut down the Camille lane. Like, she's 40 CS down, dude. That's not what you want to have happening on your split pusher. So, now they're just trailing. They want to use the Taliyah to get... Like, next thing to take is the top turret. Oh, actually, they swap back down so they can get the dragon, which is good. I think they're going to try to trade dragon for top, but I don't think Cog and Tom can even take this from Jace, can they? He just kind of clears out the way for the most part. Yeah, the Jace is just holding the 1v2 while they get free dragon. And now they're threatening this, and I think just like the fact that Jace got ahead against Camille, they're leveraging that pressure to get whatever they want to get. So what's going to happen now is Jace is going to push bottom, and then he's going to go to mid, hold mid, and then they're going to 4-man pile on top and dive it. Let's see if they do that. I haven't seen this game, by the way. Like, because I fell asleep, but I'm pretty sure that's what they're going to do now. So they push bottom. They use Jace to control river. He gets red. Jace is going to go mid to hold after that, but instead... Yeah, see how they're using Jace's like pressure to like hover? He was going to go mid after this because like now Talia's here. So he can be in on the fight if he wants to. So they TP, try to do this fight. They use Tahm Kenchul to try to flank. Nice attempt by Africa. Really good scoop, actually. That was actually a really nice flank by Africa. I think the way that Africa uses Tahm Kench is really fucking good. Like, look at this. So they ultimate Cog behind them. TP Camille into the same spot, too. And, like, look at the sandwich play they're about to get. This is actually a really nice use of Cog, or Tom. So I understand, like, them picking Tom now if they value it so highly. Because it does look like Africa uses Tom very well. Like, they know how to use him very well, but... yeah, I think that just late game just seems hard for King Zone. Africa, whatever the fuck, dude. I'm calling him Africa. I'm calling him whatever. And they push top. And then now they're just going to control all the vision. Like, once they get this mid turret down, it's really hard for Africa to actually go and control this river vision. And then, so now they're just going to use mid priority. And then they're just going to control Baron. And the thing is that the problem here is Kai'Sa just does Baron so fast. And they don't have any bot lane priority. So just this seems like a very difficult situation for Africa. Because they're down 4k. They do have top lane control, which they use to control river, but I think just the fact that the Jace has all this pressure on the bot lane is, like, pretty rough. Because they can play to bot side if they want to play to bot side, they can play to top side if they want to play to top side. They can pretty much get all the dragons they want to get. And they just use their Talia really well. I mean, they lost top turret here, but I think that if we go on the reset here... Yeah, they're going to reset, they're probably going to take dragon, then they're going to control top side after that and take... they're probably going to take the Baron after this. So they take dragon. They're up 2 dragons for free. Yeah, then they're just going to fight for topside vision. Really good poke. It's interesting that they put the Talia down there to catch that bot wave. I guess they just want a 5v5. So they trail the Talia. Oh wait, what is this? This is a good pick by them. Yeah, the way Africa uses Tahm Kench is just... They use it very, very well. They're actually one of the best teams I've seen at using Tahm Kench. They punish very, very hard. Like, they basically know that Jace is going to be... Say they ping him, look. They ping him on this pink ward right here. So, like, Jace is coming topside. Can we make a pick on him? And then they go. And they set the bait like this. Isn't that pretty nice? They use Tahm Kench very, very well. And then, so pretty much, they go back to controlling the Baron vision. It's kind of hard for them to start Baron because they don't have any armor on Sejuani yet. And Kai'Sa's not quite yet at her, like, core. When she hits IE, she'll be at her, like, true shredding power. So I think they're waiting on that power spike. So now they're just, like, baiting Baron. This is a very dangerous combo to bait. Like, if you look at the power, so they have Sejuani stuns, Morgana stun, the Talia catch. So this is just like this type of comp reminds me of the classic like Thresh sit in the bush and make a pick over Baron vision. So like, how did they get vision here in this instance? It seems very difficult. They basically would have to walk in together, right? So they push them out of mid. Now Azir would have to go with Tom to get the vision, right? Tom has no wards, so he needs to get more wards. They push top out. Cog is not with them. So they just have these staggered backs so they can't ever get control of the Baron, it looks like. They get mid push. Now I think off of this, they're just staggered again where they can't get the river control. So because like you see how like Talia's like threatening to ulti up here. No, I don't. I think that Azir should have pushed this last wave and then gone mid and then just went to go like clear the vision out. You see how he had like it staggered? So he went to go push top and then he went back, you see? And then he went back again to push top. So this stagger actually ended up hurting them quite a bit. Because now, like, look. Now they have the timing to like clear out all the vision. And Azir has to go waste even more time. And they just still never get this river control. Like, the fact that they can never get this river control because they can't sync up Azir pushing out the top wave and the mid wave being pushed, they end up like almost like they finally got the river control. It took them like a full 5 minutes to do that. But it's like, can they start the Baron? Mowgli has fucking Sightstone and Merc Treads. They can't threaten the Baron. They have no tank. So he has like boosted ass items on top of that. And yep, and now they have to waste their ultimate. And they just like clear out all the vision, they just sit on the Baron. And they're just kind of like just sitting here controlling all the vision over and over and over again. Yeah, so like if they chunk out Sejuani, like she'll just heal up. She has Warmogs. I think that Mowgli's items are like pretty boosted and he's 2 levels down too. He's just getting choked out of the jungle. You see the jungle difference? He's 2 levels up on him, so it's really hard for Mowgli to like face, like Toussaint can't face check, he's a support. Mowgli is the person who has to face check as Gragas. If you just look at these items, man, he's just down so much. He can't do anything. And he can never go leave to go to the bot side to farm because then they'll lose Baron instantly. And you can just see like Mowgli is just so squishy. And they just go back and they bait Baron again. They got the TP out of Camille. I mean, they both use TP, but... And they just sit here and like they bait this just over and over and over again. This is a good Baron start by them. They just have Kai'Sa. Kai'Sa melts Baron. She just does so much damage to Baron. Yeah, the jungle is just too far down at this point. I think this game is actually just over. I didn't get to see this game, but it just looks like the jungler got bled out. If you look at the gold difference, he's 2,000 gold down. And he's also 3 levels down. Basically, like, I think because they picked this Gragas pick, and he got bled out so hard that he's like not even a real champion. And he's just like not even a part of the game. So this goes back to the draft as well for me. I think that they had to set a bad draft, and I don't like this Gragas pick. And the Talia just punished really hard, and it snowballed Sejuani super hard. I think the game's just done at this point, so... I think that ends the VOD review. I'm gonna clip this and then put this up on YouTube. So, yep, and then we'll play some solo queue. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Let me clip this real quick. He didn't do well in first game. Peanut did bad in first game. Don't confuse the two.